Hello, hello, everyone. Hello, hello, everyone. I'm going to give it a minute before I get started. See some people popping on. Feel free to say hello in the comments. I see Nancy, Carmen. Hello, everyone. As you may notice, I am not in Corbiere-Scott. This is Lauren here, taking over her channel for a little bit today. Hello, Nancy. Hello, Tessa. Can you hear me okay? Let me know if you can't hear me. I'll get started in a minute. Anybody crafting today? Sunday's always a nice crafty day. There's always a little bit of delay with comments, so let me know. All right, perfect. Thank you, Carmen. All right, so as you can see, I am not in Corbiere-Scott. I'm taking over Anne's channel today to do some foiling. Oh, I see my sister-in-law, Alicia. Hello. There are a lot of things to do with foiling, so I'm going to try and touch on a whole bunch of different things. Today I'm going to focus on using them with Anne's printable designs. There are other things you can do with it, but this is what we are focusing on today. I am going to be using a laminator today and some toner printed designs, but I'm also going to show you some techniques if you do not have a laminator or do not have access to a toner printer. There's still a lot of things that you can do with the foil. So today I'm going to start going over a little bit about the foil. The foil that I'm going to be focusing on today is the Deco foil from Thermoweb. There are some other brands out there. Heidi Swap makes some. I believe Prima makes some as well. I use the Thermoweb quite a bit and always get pretty good results with it. And that's what I'm going to focus on. Let's see here. I'm going to show you some examples. These are some of the cards that I've made with Anne's printables. I do have a laser printer at home, but if you don't have one, you can take it to some place like Office Max or Staples. I know it's a little bit tricky. I've been hearing that some places aren't doing it right now because of COVID. So I know it's a little funky. So like I said, I will be showing some examples of things to do without the laminator. This one was with a laminator. This one has a lot of things that were not with a laminator. So I have some splatters on the background on this one, and then also the little tips of the cactus leaves or petals. I'm actually not sure on a succulent. Are they leaves or are they petals? But this whole one, none of this was a laminator. So I will show some different things you can do with that at the end. I am going to show you a lot of different materials to print on as well. This one has vellum that's printed and foiled. It looks really, really, really cool on dark cardstock. This one was on black cardstock, this one as well. And I'll show you how to do some of the different colors. There are some other products out there right now. There's one from Spellbinders and one from one of the other companies that is glimmer foil, the hot glimmer foil. And there's some that you can use in the Cricut. Those ones do not work with these techniques. It's completely different. So make sure when you're buying it that you're looking for the toner reactive foils, the Deco foil from Thermoweb or the Heidi Swap foils. The other ones work in a completely different way. You actually put the heat, like some hot, I think things that look like dyes on top of it and run it through a machine. It's a little bit different. So today I'm just covering the ones that are the heat reactive Thermoweb ones. So they come either in a flat pack or in these tubes. They are very reasonably priced and they come with a whole bunch of sheets. These tubes that I have right here are the new Fairy Tale collection. So there's some really pretty lighter pastel colors. This one is called Prince Periwinkle. Really, really pretty. I do typically, when I get them, store them in a binder. I'll show you really fast. This is just what happens to work for me. I trim down the longer sheets and I store them in sheet protectors. And I label them with what it is. There's so many different colors that I will forget when it's time to reorder what they're called. So I label them with the colors. And then there's also some other things that I'll touch on really, really quickly today, like the flock sheets from ThermoWeb that you can use for a lot of these techniques as well. So this is how I store them. There's a billion different colors. I'm a little bit obsessed with foil, as you can see. So I have them kind of by color family. They have the plain colors, and then they have some with really fun effects. So this is called Sketch Foil. It was a collaboration with Brutus Monroe. These ones are Gina K twinkling ones. And then there's some really cool, some rainbow effect ones, like ombre colors, rainbow. I even have this cheetah print one from ID Swap. So they're really fun. I try to use them all the time on my cards. So the basics, if you do have a laminator and you do have access to get toner printed sheets, I'm going to go through that first. I am going to be using a Mink machine today. It's the Heidi Swap machine, but you can do this with any kind of laminator. I happened to get this Mink a long time ago on sale, so I snapped it up and it seems to be really good, consistent results. I'll show it to you. This is the full size. They do have a mini size that is cheaper. And it does, I mean, if you're making cards, it'll definitely work. I believe it's a 6-inch, I want to say 6-inch wide. And people find them a lot of the time at like a Tuesday morning for really cheap. So that's a good thing to do. But definitely you can find tons of videos out there with people that use just like a cheap basic Amazon laminator that they got for 20 bucks. It's a pretty good deal. I work in a school, I'm a teacher, so I have I have like 3 different laminators. Teachers love their laminators. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to cut this out really quickly. Anybody have any requests for foil colors? I'm dying to try these new ThermoWeb Fairy Tale colors today. And actually, Alicia, if you're still watching, I'm going to show later the pen that I gave Anna for her birthday that does this, the pen in the foil. This is what she has. So you guys can play with this at home. All right, I'm going to use this one. This is the Lauren printable, named after me, which is really cool. I've never had anything named after me before, so this was really exciting. I'm going to use the Prince Periwinkle. This is purple. So it comes with a lot of these sheets. They're long, and they come with, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think there's a 5th one stuck in here. Sometimes they get stuck together too. I'm going to trim it down to fit over this. I do keep a lot of my scraps. That's one of the things the binders help with as well. I keep a lot of the smaller scraps because a lot of times I'm doing little teeny decoration with it. So like the succulent that had the little tips, you can use a scrap for that. The Mink comes with these plastic, or I think it comes with it. Yeah, either comes with it or you buy it as a bundle. These little carrier sheets, they come really big. I cut a lot of mine down, but they do have a giant 12 by 12 one that will fit through this machine. So sometimes if I'm foiling a whole sheet, I can use that. With the regular laminators from Amazon or wherever you buy it from, I know people usually use typing paper, or I've seen parchment paper to carry it through. I have also seen people just run it through the laminator, just the cardstock with the foil on it. I haven't tried that, it makes me nervous, but I have definitely seen people do that even without any kind of carrier sheet. So if you do have a regular laminator, you can kind of play around and see what works best with yours. If you have a regular laminator, you may take a time or two to try, like you may need a shim, like put an extra piece of cardstock under it or something like that. So it may take a minute to get yours right. So I'm just gonna feed this right through. Oh, you know what? I forgot to turn the heat up. So the Mink actually has different settings on this. This may not actually work. I may have to run it through again. 3 is kind of the typical setting for typical cardstock, typical foil, everything like that. It gets hotter and more pressure the further you go up, and the lower it is, the less pressure and the less heat. So later on, I'm going to show you some cool things with like sticker paper, and that I actually lower the heat for, and you'll see why. So I'm going to have to turn up the heat on this machine. Let's see. I'll show you some other things while I'm waiting. So this was a sticker one that I was playing with some pink quartz foil. This is actually on sticker paper. I'll show you that later. And then I also did, with the sticker paper, I made stickers for my planner page. So this is also with the Lauren printable. I had posted this a few days ago with a different colored foil and the clear sticker paper. So that's really, really fun. I like making the stickers a lot. So this will light up green in a second when it's ready. I will also show you, I'm going to use a few other products today too. We're going to use some double-sided tape. I have some different glue pens that we can use. I'm going to run it through again. While this is running through, does anybody have any questions about foil in general right now that I can answer for you? Barbara, never done any foiling. I really love foiling, in case you couldn't already tell. It's really fun, and it adds a really nice effect to the cards. It's very, very pretty. I especially love it for holiday cards. I think I was showing some of the samples with Anne's Carmen printable, which is the Christmas poinsettia ones, and I love using sparkle and shine, especially when it's holidays and winter. And like I said, there's definitely some effect. Can you color it after you foil? And yes, definitely. I will show you that as soon as this one is foiled. I'll show you a couple different ways. So I'm going to take it out now. This is my favorite moment, when you peel off the foil. This is the ooh ah moment. So there we go. We have this beautiful purple foil. And now Anne's question was, can you color it after you foil? And the answer is yes, definitely. You can color it, you can ink it, you can actually color before as well. I'll show you really quick. I have some alcohol markers here just to demo. So I can go ahead and color in, and the foil will mostly resist. And if it doesn't in any part, you can actually take a paper towel and just wipe it right off, and you can still see the foiled line. Can you see that? You can still see the foiled lines right through it. The same thing goes for, I have some watercolor paper that I'll be showing you later, and I'll get some ink blending. So Anne had a really cool live, I think was last week or a couple weeks ago, where she was showing some really fun techniques with inking up her designs. And she had some really fun tips and tricks for that, and you can absolutely do that with this. So I'm taking some Distress Oxide right now. This one is, what did I grab? Barn Door. And I actually forgot my tool, but I do have the little sponges, so I'll just show you with my finger, and I'll hold it up closer to the camera in a second. Let's see. So once you ink over it, use the paper towel to wipe off anything that stayed on the foil, and you can see the lines. Okay, Barbara, so you cannot use inkjet. This is laser. This has to be a laser printer because the foil reacts with the toner. When it runs through the laminator, it heats up that toner ink and binds them together. So that's the only problem. So I will, like I was saying before, I will show you in a little bit how to use foils and things without the laminator or without the inkjet printer. You can't necessarily do this whole thing here. You can't necessarily do the whole design in foil, but you can still use the foil and do a bunch of really cool effects with it. So I will get to that in a minute because I know that not everybody has access to that. So you can see that the foil resists, on with both the alcohol markers and the ink. Yes, definitely laser. It's the laser printer that you want with this. So I know it is kind of an investment with the laser printer. I didn't have one for a long time, but you can get things printed at Staples or Office Max, and you can do, sometimes if people have one at work that they can kind of sneak a printable here and there, you might be able to do that. I will show you, let's see. So the one thing I do want to show you with the watercolor paper is the watercolor paper has the texture to it. When cardstock has the texture, it is a little bit harder to get that perfect foil. You can still use it, absolutely, but you may see a little bit of patchy spots. So I'm going to show you some that I pre-foiled here. These are from Anne's Carmen design. I'm going to try and hold it up really closely. That's perfect, Barbara. So you have a laser printer, so you could do this no problem. So if you can see, I know it's a little bit hard to tell on camera, but if you compare the two, let me grab the one I just did. No, I've already got anybody else have crafty piles once they get going? And then it becomes impossible to find anything. Story of my crafty life. Okay, I'll find it in a second. Oh, here it is, right here. All right, so if you can see, I'm gonna try and get nice and close. The purple foil is completely covered. This one here, with I think it's rose gold foil, you can see a little bit, it's kind of patchy. It's almost, to me, it looks like a distressed look. So it's actually really fun for that kind of distressed look, which I think fits with the watercoloring sometimes. So it still looks really cool. Like if someone got that in the mail, they're not gonna be like, this looks kind of weird. It's gonna look like just kind of a distress effect with the foil. So with this one, I put it on the highest heat setting, and I also put another layer of cardstock under it so that it pushed harder, because the problem is that it has to grab into all the little grooves and textures. So sometimes with the watercolor paper, it may not be an absolute perfect foil. It still looks really cool. I still really love the look, but just so you don't think you're doing anything wrong if you have the watercolor paper and you're getting sort of a little bit patchy effect. I love that, Anne. I'm a little bit distressed, right? It's kind of appropriate. So anyway, so that's really cool. And this is the same thing. This will also resist, same way. I have my Karen markers here. Have you guys seen these bags too? Isn't this the coolest bag I just got? Amanda from Pear Blossom Press is selling these on her website, and they zip right up like this, and they're tall, so they'll fit like your Copic markers and things. And then when you're ready to use them, you just push it down like this. And so these are short. The Karen markers are short, but the Copic markers will be nice and tall. It's really cool. I love it. Anyway, I'm always looking for good storage ideas. So you can go ahead and color on this as well. Ooh, this is one of the neons. These are watercolor markers. So same exact thing. You can use watercolor paint, watercolor markers, same thing. I didn't even let this dry, so it's kind of smearing, but it'll resist right off. The foil is not broken up at all. So that's really, really fun about foil. It's kind of like embossing, where the embossing will resist it as well. Okay. So one of the other fun things I was going to show you real quick was the colored cardstock. So I printed all these on different colors. Oh, I was like, why does it look like I have double vision? It's because it's vellum. Here's the vellum. You can print and foil on vellum. I've got some pretty blue paper. I've got some craft cardstock. And then the black as well. And then I have clear sticker paper. So I was showing you this before. So this is clear sticker paper. The one thing you will notice with this is because sticker paper is like coated with adhesive underneath it, it does get a little bit of some patchy effects. Again, it's kind of a distressy look, and you can play around with your own laminator. I haven't bothered to mess around with this too much. It foils perfectly. It's just get some little extra foil stuck. I did try using a powder bag, like with embossing, but it still came out a little bit like this. So normally I'm cutting mine out. So for example, what I would do with this one, and it's clear, so you don't have, the border doesn't matter. You'll see when I peel it off in a minute. So you can leave a messy border and no one will notice. Unless you're selling them or something like that and you want it to look different, but I just use them for me and my girls. So you can do it like this. And then I did bring some extra. I print my own planner pages. So this is before they're punched on the side for the discs. Let's see. I'm getting some stuff all over them. So you can do cool things like with the sticker. I'm going to actually cut it in half like this. And again, I'd probably use a paper trimmer to make a nice cut, but for the sake of the video. So you can actually do something cool like peel the clear sticker. See, it's clear. Put it up against the edge like this. And then use the other half. Hello, Cindy. No problem. If you have any questions when you're watching the replay, feel free. Feel free to message us or ask. Nice to see you on. Thanks for popping by. And then I'm going to match it up. Doing it a little bit fast today, but you can match it up. And so then when you punch the holes along the edge, you can do flowers all up the edge. You can trim them to fit in the corners, like I did on my planner here. I cut the edges to fit in the corner here, and you can actually use all of these. I fussy cut out some of the flowers from this. You could cut out this one and use it, and then use this one and do different color foils. So I really like using the sticker paper a lot. Okay. Feel free to ask any questions if you have them. I'm going to move on a little bit to if you don't have a laser printer or if you don't have a laminator. So I'm going to bring out a couple different things. I'm going to start with the glues. So one of the things you can do is use glue. I have a Deco-Foil glue pen, adhesive pen. It's called the Deco-Foil adhesive pen. There are Nuvo ones as well that are meant to do this. I know people use them a lot too with things like the gilding flakes. They sell, I think it's called flitter glue, something like that. There's this Zig two-way glue pen. What you really need is a glue that will dry tacky if it's left open to the air. So a regular glue will dry hard, like you can touch it after a pile of glue dries and it won't stick, it won't be sticky. These glues will actually dry sticky if they're left open. So that's the important part. It has to have something to stick to. So these three glues are ones that I have tried. I'm sure there's others out there. I like to use this one a lot. I've made stickers with this and things like that. So what we're gonna do is I'm going to trim down. This is the Tessa, named after my fellow design team member Tessa, who is amazing. If you don't follow her on social media, be sure to do that. She's Tessa Reed Designs. She is the coolest. I am so lucky to be a part of this design team. It's me and Tessa on Anne's design team, and they're just amazing. We have the most fun crafting together. They're amazing friends. They're talented designers. It is just the coolest. So I'm going to take the glue pen of these. Let's see. Now I'm just going to put a little bit at the tip of the flower here. You could do a line. You could follow the lines of the little stamens in the middle. Things like that. And I'm going to set that aside to dry. It needs to dry. And like I said, this one will dry tacky. We are small but mighty. We sure are. So I'm going to let that dry for a second while I show you some other things. Another really cool and such an easy way to use this foil is double-sided tape. So if you are a crafter, it is likely that you have double-sided tape somewhere in your stash. You can even use tape runner. The glue is the Zig. The blue one is the Zig two-way glue. It's a glue pen. And I know Scraps of Love, if you are local here in Phoenix, Arizona, I know Scraps of Love carries a lot of these. I know they carry a little bit of foil, and they definitely carry these pens. I'm not 100% sure about the Deco-Foil or the Nuvo, but I'm definitely sure they have these. I bought these from Scraps of Love a bunch of times. The foil, actually, I guess I should have mentioned that. The foil you can buy, these supplies you can buy from a lot of different places. You can buy directly from ThermoWeb, directly from the companies. They also carry tons of these on Amazon, on scrapbook.com, plenty of places to buy those. So that's kind of nice too. It's very, very easy to find them. Let's see, so I'm gonna put a piece of double-sided tape along the side here. I'm just gonna put it, it's gonna cover a little of the design, but just so you get the idea. So I'm gonna press it down, peel it off, and then let's try, I'm gonna try one of the new colors again. I'm gonna try, what's this one? This one is Glass Slipper, this Cinderella blue here. Oh my gosh, these are so pretty. I love these. These are amazing. So again, I would probably normally trim it down, but for the sake of the video, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna lay it carefully across. Use my finger to press down and make sure it covers all the little corners, all the edges. I usually use my finger and not a bone folder or anything, just so that I don't make marks in the foil. If you use something with a point or an edge, it's possible that you could kind of make a line in the foil. Let me see if I can kind of show you with my finger. I don't know if you can see, but it'll kind of scratch a little bit. Okay, so then all you got to do, peel it off, and you have this really pretty effect. Completely covered. Oh my gosh, these foils are really cool. It has a tiny bit of iridescence. I don't know, hopefully the camera's picking it up pretty well. I'm trying to let a lot of natural light come in. You're 2 hours away from any craft stores. Yes, definitely, Barbara. It's very, very easy to buy them and find them online, for sure. ThermoWeb will ship them right to you. Amazon will have them. So that's a really fun way if you want to kind of test out the foils and see if you like them, see if you like the style and the colors. Double-sided tape is a perfect way to test them out, or these glues, without investing a whole lot of money. And then as you get going, you can kind of decide if you want to invest in the laminator or the laser printer. These are still really cool. I know if you're into like the washi tape look, you can kind of rip the tape and put them in different lengths. So if we wanted to, we could use, let's see, I'm running low on this tape, I think, actually. But I'm gonna put one more just so you can kind of see what they look like next to each other. And just peel it right off. And let's do the pink. This one is called Enchanted Rose. These are so cute. I'm definitely a Disney fan, so these are pretty adorable. These princessy fairy tale ones. So then you can put it right over here. It's not going to interfere with the blue because the blue is already stuck down. I'll show you that in a minute too, the layering. All you gotta do is gently peel it off, and there you go. So you can do stripes. If you have thicker, meaning wider double-sided tape too, I know some of them sell like really wide, couple inch thick. You could even put this on cardstock. So you could put the tape on a piece of cardstock, like a wide piece, or if you have adhesive sheets, you can put them down onto cardstock and put the foil on them and even die cut, things like that. So there's tons of things you can do if you don't have the laminator and the laser printer, for sure. Okay, I'm gonna do one more thing and then we'll look at the glue. So the last thing I was gonna show you is, I realized I grabbed the wrong jar. This is Decofoil Transfer Gel. So this is a gel that dries kind of sticky. ThermoWeb makes it. They actually have a couple different ones. They have a new one called Transfer Gel Duo. The Duo means that you can use it without the laminator. You can let this dry and foil with it and run it through your die cutting machine. I haven't really tried that because I have the laminating machines, but you can look for some videos on it and it's really cool. So if you have the gel and the stencils and a die cutting machine, like the hand crank ones or one of the electronic ones that feeds through, you should be able to use it in the same way. You should be able to foil with it. So instead of running it through a laminator, you can run it through the die cutting machine. So that is pretty cool. I actually I have that one, but I didn't grab it today. I grabbed the regular transfer gel, and this one you need the laminator for. So what you can do with this, it's goopy. It's a nice goop. And you can use this on stencils. For sure, that's the biggest one I use them for is stenciling. You can stencil this and then foil the stencil, which is really cool. With Anne's, what I'm going to show you today is, I'm just going to use, let's see which we use. I'm going to use this, let's see. I'm going to use this beautiful new printable that Anne has up. This one is called Mom. It has the cutest little sentiments, Heidi Ho, and you are super loved, and it's these beautiful whimsical flowers. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take a paintbrush. I have a couple of just junky paintbrushes that I use for all kinds of goop, and I'm going to take a little bit on the ends of this, and I'm going to brush it. I'm going to do on this leaf here. I'm going to brush it like I would with paint and get this really cool brushy texture. So I'm going to brush it on like this. You can use this for anything. You can actually dot this with, if you have a dotting tool, you can make little polka dots. I'm just going to do a couple on the outside just so you can kind of see some of the different things. I'm just going to do some brush strokes so you can see the texture on that one. So I'm going to have to let that dry as well. That needs to dry. So I'm going to put that to the side, and I'm going to see if my glue one is dry yet. Let's see. Looks like I'm going to give it just another minute on that one. So I'm going to do one more thing while we let the glue and the gel dry. So on this printable here, I use two different colors of foil. I use the green for the leaves and I use the pink for the flowers. So I'm going to take, I'm actually going to use this one. We're letting that one dry for now, but I'm going to use, let's see, let's use this one here. I'm not going to do all of it a different color, but I'm going to show you just. Does anybody have any color requests or any foils they want to see? I'm on it too. I have a pretty good stash. I have a lot of the colors. There's some cool ones like shattered glass texture. I have some rainbow. I'll do some rainbow in a minute maybe. Let's use some of the new ones. I'm going to use the green. Let's see, the green is Lily Pad. I'm going to use Lily Pad. So I'm going to trim a little piece of the Lily Pad one. I'm telling you, this foiling is so addictive. And it's kind of fun because you can do a bunch of printables in one day. So you can kind of print and foil a whole bunch of designs and then you have them. So just like you do if you pre-stamp images or if you print a bunch of the printables and keep them in a binder. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the green, and again, it's going to catch some things around the edges, but I'm just going to, for the sake of the video, I'm going to show you just kind of how I do it. So I put the green only over the leaf, and then let's use, what haven't I used yet? This is Peach Princess. I'm going to use Peach Princess for the flowers. I'm going to put this over the rest so you can overlap them. And whatever color is touching the toner ink, the toner printed image, is what the toner will grab. So if I put this over the whole thing, it's still only going to grab the green down here. I had a background that had all different images on it once before, and I did like little pieces of foil over the whole thing. So every little image was a different color foil. It's super fun. So let's grab my carrier sheet here. I'm going to pop this in. The other thing to note if you're using a laminator is that you don't want any uncovered area with the toner showing. So like you don't want to put it, oops, I just moved all the foil around. You don't want to put it like this because that toner will actually transfer onto your sheet. The toner will heat up and stick to this carrier sheet. So you do want to make sure that all of the areas that have toner on them are covered. It's not a huge deal, but the next foiling pass after that will get a little bit funky. So just to be aware of that. All right, I'm going to run this through the laminator off camera. Oops. I think I might have just shifted it, but you'll get the idea. All right, let's check the glue here. I think the glue is ready. This glue is usually clear when it's dry, so I'm gonna try. I may be getting a little impatient, so forgive me if I've moved too quickly with this one. But any foil color requests? Maybe we'll do a little of the purple. The purple was really fun. So this, actually, you know what? I'm gonna use green so I can show you that this one I would use like a little scrap for. So I'm gonna press kind of gently with my finger over all these areas, and you'll kind of feel it. You'll see where the glue is and you'll feel where the glue is. I don't even remember where I put glue on this one. So, and then peel it off. Easy peasy. Isn't that cool? Let's see if I can hold it closer. So wherever the glue was, the foil's there. Oh, and I forgot I put some, I think, on the tip of the... If the glue is not completely dry, it's totally fine. You can actually just wait till it dries some more and then go over it again. So like if you do this, so see right here, it didn't quite go because that was a bigger glob of glue, so it didn't cover the whole thing. So all you have to do is wait, just wait a little while and make sure it's dry, and then put the foil over it again and peel it off, and it'll be perfect. So that's kind of nice too. There's a lot of room for error with it. So that's really fun if you do not have the laminator and you do not have a laser printer. You can still use super cool foil effects on there. So that's one. And then this one is done in our laminator here. Let's check it out. Let's see how this one came out. So peeling that out. Ooh, that's a pretty color. Ooh, that's kind of like a coppery. Ooh, I like that. And then this little end over here. So if I were going to use this flower, you can imagine it without this. You would have the flower in that coppery color and the leaves in green. Let's see. Are you guys able to see the foil okay on camera? These are really pretty colors. I love these. Okay, so let me see. There is, one other really fun thing you can do with the gel. This is the other thing I was going to show you. If you do have the laminator and you use the gel, I have a junky block here, a junky old stamp block, as you can see, that I haven't cleaned very well. But what you can actually do, I'm not going to do it right now because I don't have my work surface protected, but I'll show you what to do. So you can take a little bit of this and put it on your block and then mix it with a little bit of water so that it's like a liquidy paint texture, and then you can splatter off the side of your block. Or if you have like one of those splatter brushes or something like that, any kind of hard surface that you can use the edge to flick your brush off of will splatter. And then when it's dry, you can run it through the laminator. So that's what I did with the background on this one here. So with this one, I splattered black paint first, and then I splattered, once the black paint was dry, I splattered the watered down transfer gel, and you get this really cool splattery foil background. So that's another fun thing you can do with the gel. So that's really fun. Let's see. Do you guys want to see any samples of the foil? Or are there any questions? Anything I haven't explained clearly? I could do this for hours, so I won't do that to you, but I could do this for hours because it's so fun. Here, I'm going to show you. I'm going to use this craft cardstock here. Or you know what? Let's do some rainbow foil on the black. So I'm going to use this rainbow foil. So you can see a little bit here, the printed. I'm going to use it on, let's use it on this one here. This is the Lauren printable again. So I would be normally using a paper trimmer, but we're just going to go quick. And the fun thing about this too is that it can foil the sentiment. So let's put out one of the sentiments too. So you can match your sentiment and your foiled image. So like on this one, I was able to use the same green from the leaves on the sentiment. So that is really fun. Fun, fun, fun. Crafting is just the best medicine, isn't it? What could you, oh yes, thank you so much for saying that, Barbara. Excellent question. What could you do with the foil sheet you just removed? You can absolutely put this down. So if you have adhesive sheets, or you can even just put glue dots on the back. I mean, not glue dots, like you could dot some glue, or glue dots if you want, but you can put some adhesive on the back. Or if you have adhesive sheets that you can lay down. Absolutely. Thank you, Barbara. So I'm going to do it on the back of this Tessa just so you can see really quick. So let's use, I'm just going to use this one because it's what I have with me, but you can just dot anywhere where it's not clear. You can kind of put it on the edges. And again, I would normally trim this down and all that. But you can just put the glue on the back, put it down on white or even on black cardstock. Gently smooth it down. And of course this one has the piece cut out because of the green, but normally you would have this perfect image. And then you could just trim it down and you have a perfect card front ready to go. Hi, Jan. Jan, this will be up on Anne's page still. So you can find this once the live is over, right here on Anne's page where you just joined in. It's me, but I'm live on Anne's page. And if you have any questions while you're watching, feel free to ask. So Barbara, thank you so much for reminding me about this one. This is really cool. You have a ready-made shiny card front. So let's see. I'll show you this. I'll do one with the cool rainbow foil, and by that time the transfer gel should be ready to go. The transfer gel sometimes takes longer to dry, especially if you're doing stenciling with it. If you have it thicker, it does take, like sometimes I'll do it at night and then I'll foil in the morning. It definitely, you want to leave it and make sure it's completely dry. I think it takes maybe like an hour or two, but I usually just leave it overnight. So let's see. These ones I have cut down, so it's going to be a little bit, I'm just going to cut the page down so you can kind of get the idea. So I'm going to do the rainbow like this. This is Rainbow Shattered Glass from Thermoweb, and it is absolutely stunning. So I'm going to cut this. You guys will get the idea. Let's see. Oh, there we go. I didn't cut off the bottom. It's hard to tell on the black where my image is here. So I'm going to position it to make sure it gets all the colors on the design like that. And then actually with this little overhang, I think I'll do the Miss You. So I'm going to position this, and then right under it, oops, sorry, I'm off camera a little. Put this under here, close it up, and we'll run it right through. And then I'm going to check and see if our transfer gel is dry. When you do it with the brush, it dries very, very quickly because you're only putting on a tiny bit. Yeah, that actually already looks dry. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this. Trim this one out. Remember, we did a couple little dots on the side there too. I want to make sure I get those. Any requests for color on that one? Any particular color or pattern of foil you want to see? Let's see here, maybe some, let's see, we'll do some purple. No, let's do some of the pretty Gina K twinkling one. This one is really fun. So this is one of the Thermoweb and Gina K collaboration foils. It's twinkling pink. It's another really fun pattern one, like sequiny and sparkly. So I'm gonna trim that one down for this guy. Oh, and actually, yeah, let's see. I forgot it's gonna foil the whole thing. I forgot this is donor printed. So you'll see that it stick to the toner, and you'll see it stick to the places that we put the gel. So actually this one's gonna be a little bit funky. All right, so this one just came through the laminator. So this one is the Rainbow Shattered Glass. It's amazing. It's so pretty. Hopefully you guys can see how pretty it is on camera. I love this one. And it picked up the rainbow in here too. So that's really cute. It's really nice because if you're looking for quick cards, this is a very, very easy way to make really fast but gorgeous cards. So same thing Barbara was saying with the negative that we've got here. Let's see, I'm gonna find the back of a white piece of paper to show you. A white piece of cardstock. I can find one. This one has some print, but you can get the idea. So then you'd have this negative on here or on the back of black cardstock. Looks really cool in the black. So that's a fun way to use the negatives up too. So I'm gonna run this little one through the laminator. Like I said, this one might come out a little bit funky because it's gonna foil everything. It's gonna foil the toner and the gel parts that we brushed on and dotted on. So what you would do, what I should have done with that one, and actually maybe I can try it with one of these that I already foiled. What you might want to do with that one is you could foil first the printed design in one color and then brush on some transfer gel or dot on some glue, and then you'll get, when you run it through the second time, when that's dry, you'll get a two-toned image. So this one's already foiled. I'll show you this one really quickly. Let's see if I can get it. With it, when you brush it on really gently, it dries very, very quick. So I should be able to do this quickly. How am I doing on time? How long have I been on? I don't even know. Let's see, so I'm gonna brush some in here. Brush some in here and in here. I'm just dipping it gently in here. Just dipping it very, very gently. Brushing it super gently. So I'll see if you can see it. It's very, very hard to see on camera, but you can kind of see the brush strokes here, brush strokes here. It's also very fun on my Instagram. This is my Instagram here, Sonoran Starfish Designs. I have a lot of examples with foil, and there's one that I have, I think it was from last Christmas time, where I did around the whole edge and I brushed with the gel. And this is what I'm thinking for Christmas with Anne's Carmen printables, what I'd really love to do. So for example, with this one, I could foil it like this, and then if I gently brush around the edge and use silver foil, it looks icy. Like it looks like an icy frosty effect. It's so cool. I do have it up on my Instagram if you're interested in seeing, or you can message me on my Instagram, and I'd be happy to send you examples, or if you have questions, I am more than happy to talk about foiling whenever you want. So let's see. So this one came through. So this one may be a little bit funky, but maybe you'll be able to get the idea anyway. Okay, so you can at least see the brush strokes. So if you see here, this is where we took the brush and brushed it. And this was how I dotted. I didn't have a dotting tool. I just used the paintbrush, so they're not actual dots. They're just kind of blobs because it was the end of the brush. But you can see how cool this texture is. Yes, I do, Barbara. It's the same name. So Sonoran Starfish Designs is my Facebook page for all my crafting. So absolutely, you can find me there. You can message me, ask me anything, have a crafty chat. By all means, search for me there. And Anne, if you're having trouble finding it, you can message Anne and she can help you find it too. So that is what the brush strokes will look like. So it's really cool. You can use smaller paint brushes as well to get better fine details. This was just the one I happened to grab today. But that's really fun to do. Let's see if these brush strokes are dry. So let's see. Where did we put them? Can't find where I brushed them on. Was it this one that I used? Oh, yep, they're there. So, okay, they're already dry, so that's really cool. So, any requests for color? Let's see, I think we've used all the fairy tale foils from Thermoweb so far. Oh, you know what I'll show you really fast? That's kind of fun. So with the gel, I didn't show you this one yet either. So Thermoweb also makes these things called flock sheets. I'm gonna I'll use this bright pink one for now. This is one of the neon ones. So it's gonna look kind of weird with these pretty pastel foil colors, but you'll get the idea. So I'm going to trim a little bit of this. So flock, if you haven't used it before, is fuzzy. So these are fuzzy transfer sheets. So I don't know if you've been crafting a while, you may remember back in the day they had flock that they sold in little jars, and it was really messy. It got everywhere. It was really cool. It was this fuzzy texture, really fun to use. Definitely got everywhere when you were crafting. But now Thermowebs makes it in a sheet. So this sheet has the fuzz. It has this fuzzy flock here. Now this will not work with the toner. Like, it won't react with the toner. It has to have something to grab onto. This one I do recommend if you're using like glue or double-sided tape or adhesive sheets. You might want to try running it through your die cutting machine. Yeah, you do have the jars of flock. So it's really cool. It adds this fun fuzzy texture. It's cute if you have like little animal stamps, or it is cool for flowers because you can use purple. All right, Alicia's requesting purple. Where's my purple flock? Here, purple flock, got it. All right, so we're gonna use purple flock. I'm gonna cut a little piece of purple. Yeah, flock is really fun. So I like the sheets, but it definitely, let's see, gosh, I can barely see it. It dries clear, the gel dries clear, so when you only put a tiny bit on, sometimes it's hard to tell where you put it. Okay, so I'm gonna run that through the laminator with the flock. So the gel you can use with the flock. It is really fun. If you are using the glue or adhesive sheets with the flock, it does require a lot of pressure. So if you are using it without a laminator, it might have kind of patchy results. You may want to try running it through your die cutting machine, like without a die, as if you were going to flatten something, and put like cardstock underneath it to make sure it gives a lot of pressure. I haven't tried that, but I have a feeling you would need a little bit of extra pressure to get that to stick. So that's running through the machine. I'll kind of put out the samples that we've been doing today. Anybody can ask if they want to see something or add something. Questions? I do like it, and I don't always use it with the laminator, which is nice. Like I said, these the tips on this cactus, on this succulent, I mean, were just the glue, like how I did with this one here. So I didn't use the laminator at all. I did use the laminator for the background. Let's see how this one came out. So let's see. Peel off the flock. So you can see. So I wasn't very careful with this. Obviously, I was just brushing it on, but you can see how it reacts with the gel. So if you have a little dotting tool, you could do little flock dots, like in these little things here. Or if you have a flower, so this is all fuzzy now. So if you have a flower, let's see, you find a flower one. So like for example, with these, with the poinsettia ones, you could dot some in here. You could use a little paintbrush or the glue or a dotting tool, and you could have like fuzzy stamens in the middle. Or no, the stamen is the stem part. Pollen, like you guys know what I'm talking about, right? It's been a while since I took middle school science. But you could have the fuzzy and the little fuzzy thing in the center with the flower, so you can keep layering. Once the foil is on, like in this one, it didn't pick up anything except the gel. So you can keep adding different things. So if I wanted to now even add a second color, I could go back in with more glue or more gel, and I could add some foil color to the little dots. And then you can still ink or color or paint over this and work it. So, does anybody have any questions about that or anything else you'd like to see a sample of? I got plenty of things in stock here in the stash. Anybody want to see like the vellum or the sticker paper? This is more sticker paper with the new mom printable. Any other questions? Mixed media? Yeah, definitely. You could do a lot of cool mixed media. If you follow ThermoWeb on their pages, one of my friends, Heather Collins, she works for Brutus Monroe. Heather Collins on her pages, and you'll see her samples on ThermoWeb's Instagram and Facebook. Heather Collins does incredible mixed media pieces with their foil and their flock and things like that. So if you check out the ThermoWeb social media pages, you'll be able to find some examples of Heather's work, and it's really, really cool. Definitely tons of mixed media possibilities. And like I said, it's fun to practice layering them or doing different parts with different colors. You can cut out, so what you could do for something like this one too from the Tessa is you could cut out, you could foil it and then you could cut it out and layer it. So I printed for this one. You can see, oh, thank you so much, Nancy. I appreciate you guys watching. That's very sweet of you. So for this one, you could print, I printed it a few times and colored it and then cut smaller and smaller each time to do the layering look. So you could do the same thing. You could foil this once in pink, once in green, and then you could cut different things, and each layer up could have a different color foil. There's a lot of really fun ways to do this. So, oh, you guys are so sweet. Thank you so much. If you have any other questions, feel free to message me, or if you're having trouble finding my pages, my Sonora and Starfish Designs pages, Anne can definitely help point you in the right direction. Same thing with Tessa. Tessa has some really cool designs on hers. She is at Tessa Reed Designs, R-E-E-D, T-E-S-S-A-R-E-E-D. So we have a lot of super fun samples with Anne's. This is the perfect thing to use with Anne's printables. I actually did end up I resisted getting my own laser printer for so long, and finally broke down because we're using all these fun printables. Alicia, where do you get the foil from? Okay, so foil you can get straight from the companies online, so like ThermoWeb. You can also get them on Amazon by searching for them. They have all the colors on Amazon. They also sell them at Joann's and Michael's. They usually have at least the basics, like the gold and the silver, and maybe a couple different other colors. I think sometimes they have the plain rainbow ones. Or you can buy online. There's websites like scrapbook.com. You can call Scraps of Love. Alicia, actually there's a Scraps of Love. One is in Peoria off the 101, and one is in Sun City West, which is close to you. You can call them and see if they have it in stock. The flock is, you usually have to order straight from the company or from a site like scrapbook.com, or I'm actually not even sure if it's on Amazon. I haven't tried to buy it from Amazon. Usually I buy mine right from ThermoWeb. The flock you'll have to check. I know they sell it on scrapbook.com, and I know they sell it on, yes, definitely call your local stores first, because it'll be a lot faster to get it from them. I'm not sure. And I think, let's see, Debbie Miller, are you still on here? Do you know if Scraps of Love carries the flock? If they don't, they may be able to get it for you too. What's the company? The company that makes the flock is ThermoWeb. So it's the same one that makes these foils that I was showing you today. It's the ThermoWeb brand. So it's their Deco Foil line. ThermoWeb has tons of different products in different categories. This is their Deco Foil line. So they have tons of the foils and the gels, and they also have, I'll show you really fast before I go, they have this new collaboration line with Rena K Designs, and everything is neon, so it's really cool. And they have these new neon enamels that I have not seen from any other company right now. So this works like the foil with the gel. So this is one that you could use the gel or the glue pen, and put it down on and rub it down and rip it off. And it's neon. I have some examples of that on my social media too. They have this really fun neon. They're calling it neon enamel. So all that is from ThermoWeb. So I use mostly ThermoWeb. They're very, very nice. They have really good customer service. Their products have been the most consistent results for me, but that doesn't mean that some of the other ones aren't good. But I personally can vouch for ThermoWeb and the quality of the foils and their customer service, and they're just really, really nice. So that's why I have so much of their stuff. So yes, thank you, Anne. I want to post a list of independently owned stores. So she'll be posting that so you can see if there's any ones in your local area. For our local people, we have a few in Phoenix. We have Scraps of Love in particular that is very near and dear to our heart. They have the location in Peoria and they have the location in Sun City West. I'm not sure if they've reopened the Sun City West one yet from the COVID-related closures, but you can call for sure, and they are doing curbside pickup if you want it, so you don't even have to go into the store. They're also being careful about how many customers they let into the store, so if you're worried about that at the moment, they're really good about filling the orders over the phone, and they'll come right out to your car with them. So that's definitely an option, and I'm very impatient. So if I decide I want a product, I usually call them first because I love to be able to call it in and then go drive and pick it up right away rather than stocking the mailbox for the next few days. So definitely try your local retailers for your local scrapbook stores first. And usually, you guys, for any craft products, if you go to your local stores and they don't have it in stock, chances are they can get it. They can get it for you and they can get it quickly. So that's definitely always a good option. Okay, Scraps of Sun City West open 3 days a week. Thank you, Anne. Awesome. So Sun City West is open 3 days a week, and Peoria is not that much further east. It's right off the 101. So if you can't get to the Sun City West one on the days that they're open, you can definitely pop over to the Peoria store, and they'll have what you need. Alrighty. That is about all I have today, unless anybody has any other questions or any samples they want to see. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, Anne, for letting me take over your channel today. Feel free to contact us. Okay, Sun City West, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Thank you, Carmen. So that is, feel free to contact us with questions or help or troubleshooting. We love to talk crafty things anytime you want. I hope everybody has an awesome rest of your Sunday and that your week goes quickly and smoothly this week. Thank you guys so much for watching.